Hey people, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Now, today is a different video, doing something different today. We're not doing a ranking, we're not doing a review, we're not doing anything like that. We're just doing a bit of a show-off video for you today. We're just gonna sit here and show off and pull out one by one my vinyl collection. Now, compared to others, yes, I understand it's nowhere near as insane as others. You know, people have walls upon walls. I've just got these two little shelves, and one day I hope for it to be bigger, but for now I'm very happy with what's sitting on the shelf. So I thought I'd just take you through it, talk about some of the albums, some favorites, some least favorites, and just where they came from, how old they are, X, Y, Z, you know, all that fun stuff that talks about music, really. It ranges from about, it's mostly hard rock, heavy metal, obviously, but there's some random stuff as well that's thrown in there. So without further adu, we've got quite a little bit to get through, so let's just get into it, shall we? So for starters, we're going to start with an album that's not actually mine. It's my mum's. I moved out of home a little few months ago and took some of her albums with her. I told her they'd get played here more than they would at her house, so she's like, cool, take what you want. And the first one I grabbed was the first one here, AC/DC, Highway to Hell. Original pressing, I'm pretty sure. Bought it for $3.99, probably £3, going if it was mum's. And yeah, I'm not the biggest AC/DC fan, but you know, it's a hard rock album, so we had to have it. Obviously, Highway to Hell, we've got some cool songs on here. Girls Got Rhythm, Walk All Over You, Touch Too Much, ones that don't get talked about enough, from 1979, I'm pretty sure. Yes, 1979, but yeah, so that's cool, that's what's first. Secondly, we have the reissue of Alestorm's debut album, Captain Morgan's Revenge. I've got the 10-year anniversary of their debut album. This is a green one, comes from Napalm Records. Over the Seas, Captain Morgan, Tear on the Sails, Set Sail and Conquer. Honestly, such a fun album. I did a video where I ranked all the Alestorm albums, so if you're interested in seeing what my favourite one is, go have a look at that one. Next up is another Alestorm. We got the most recent studio release, and that is Curse of the Crystal Coconut, released last year, I'm pretty sure. This one's purple, so I've got green and purple. I'm a sucker for colours, but I've got my rainbow now, so it's all good. This album is just fantastic. It's amazingly fun. There's like one bad song on here for me, and that is Call of the Waves. I just don't like that one. Otherwise though, great album, really, really cool. I waited about 8 months to get that through the pandemic stuff. This is another Alestorm. This is Live in Tilburg. This is their most recent release of anything. It's a double album, 4 sides. This one's yellow. 4 albums in, we've got 3 colours already. Awesome live song. I got the wooden box when I bought this, and I bought the vinyl, so it comes with the live Blu-ray performance, which is really, really cool. Right, that's the end of the Pirates now. We start tackling black metal. So this is Bathory's iconic self-titled debut from 1984. In my opinion, this is the original black metal album. Some people would argue that it's Venom. Take what you want. I absolutely love this album. 26 minutes of pure evil, pure raw, fast thrash, just really, really cool. I'm so happy to have that album in my collection. More black metal, we got Belphegor and their 2003 release Lucifer and Cestus. This is blue. It doesn't tell you that it's blue, and when I bought it, I got told that it was one of 300 pressings of the blue one, so I was like, yes please, but there's no way to show that it's one of 300, so they could have just lied to me and I would have bought it in. But yeah, incredibly evil, incredibly satanic, incredibly brutal, but also incredibly fun. Next up, we got Beelzebubs. We got the cartoon black metal band. These guys are honestly so fun. They're fun and they're cute, but they're also really, really dark, and they're also really evil too. Black and Cool, real famous. Cathedrals of Morning is awesome, but then Nam Gloria Lucifer. Oh, literally some of the evilest lyrics I've ever read. Going back in time now, we've got Black Sabbath's first album, Black Sabbath, from 1970. Obviously, this is mine, this isn't Mum's or anything, so this is a re-release. This is a repress from 15, I think, but still. It's a gatefold, obviously. Excuse me, it's a gatefold, so you open it up and you get that, even though it's just it's a 1 LP album. Very, very cool. We got Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. This one is Mum's. It's been ripped and wet and torn a few times. Original pressing. One of the more, happier albums ever, and Living on a Prayer, You Give Love a Bad Name's all on there, so it's very cool. And then the next album is something that you couldn't really have more opposite to Bon Jovi. We've got Cannibal Corpse and their third album, Tomb of the Mutilated, from 1992. I had to have this. There's nothing fancy about this album in terms of colours or whatnot. This is a re-release, and it's just awesomely brutal. It's just insane. Everyone knows what's on here. Hammer Smashed, I Come, Blood, Addicted. There's just some awesomely classic Cannibals on here. Really, really good album. I'd put that in top 3 Cannibal albums rather. Next one is another Cannibal album. We got Gallery of Suicide from 1998. I bought this along with the next Cannibal album that you'll see, just because it was there, to be honest. I just thought, yeah, go on, we'll get another album just for fun. And this one is just brutal. I Will Kill You and Disposable of the Body is just insane. And as I said, I bought that with this album, their last one, Violence Unimagined. This one's cool. Single LP, gatefold though, really, really awesome. Murderous Rampage, Inhumane Harvest, Surround, Kill, Devour, Bound and Burned. Oh, honestly, they're all so good. It's such a brutal death metal album. It's really, really fun. Back on the black metal train now, you've got Catacomb Grin and their Dance and Laughed Amongst the Rotten. Now, I share quite a cool little fun connection with this album, only because it was released on my birthday, June 16, 2017. It's a gatefold, obviously. It's a 2 LP. There's 4 sides. Charlie and Into Naam the Devil are probably my 2 favourites on that. Really, really dark, symphonic black metal stuff there. Really, really cool. Just standing here now, I realise how much black metal I actually have. Continue onto the D's now. We got Dark Throne and their second release, A Blaze in the Northern Sky from 1992. 6 songs of pure, raw, black, cold, true Norwegian black metal. Awesome, awesome album. That definitely up there in the top tier of Dark Throne albums. After Blaze, we get Under a Funeral Moon, which came out in 1993. This is the first Dark Throne album I owned, and I think this one is actually my favourite one. It's really, really cool. We got 8 songs this time: Natasha and Eternal Sleep, Summer of Diabolical Holocaust, Unholy Black Metal, To Walk the Infernal Fields. Honestly, some really, really good songs on that one. We skip over Transylvanian Hunger and we go straight to Panzerfaust. I don't have Transylvanian Hunger on vinyl, I've only got it on CD. But still, this one came with its plastic covering, so you've got to keep that on. I played this yesterday and my god, it was fun. The Hordes of Nebula are awesome, but my favourite on this is probably Hans says Winter, which probably means something to do with winter. That's a really, really cool album there. And then the next one we have is their latest release, The Eternal Hails. Really, really cool. Only 5 songs on this, but it's for a black metal album. It's incredibly long, and it's really, really cool. Really, really heavy. One of the best work. It's up there with I think it's better than Old Star, and it's up there with Arctic Thunder, I reckon. Right now we're going to tackle a bunch of albums that aren't mine. They're all Mum's. I won't pull them out just because there's like a big chunk of them, but it's David Bowie. Now I'm not the biggest David Bowie fan, but I appreciate what he did and everything else, and Mum was a massive fan of them, so there's quite a few here, so we'll just go through them. I've got Hunky Dory, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Star. These are all original pressings too, you can tell they're a bit old. We got Aladdin Sane, Scary Monsters, Let's Dance, and I believe the last one is Images. Yeah, so that's really, really cool to have them all sitting in there. Back on the heavy metal now, as it should be. We've got Death and their debut album, Scream Bloody Gore. This album is really, really cool as well. I found this lying in the shop and I bought the next album as well at the same time. So I was really stoked to come home with these two. This is a splatter kind of pinwheel gore. What is it? Clear vinyl with blood red pinwheels and splatter. So yeah, so that's really, really evil. One of my more favourite Death albums, definitely. Some people put it quite low, not me. I bought this album at the same time. This is their 3rd release, Spiritual Healing. This is my favourite Death album. Defensive Personalities is just an insane song. Living Monstrosity is great, and the song itself, Spiritual Healing, that's really cool too. Really, really glad. This is a pinwheel splatter as well. Keeping the trend of going, we've got another Death one here. This is Human. This one isn't anything special in terms of pinwheels and splatters and whatnot. This is just straight black. Flattening of Emotions, Suicide Machine, Together as One, and Secret Face. Side 1 is really, really good of this album. Next album is another one of my parents'. This is The Best of the Doors, Jim Morrison. Me and my partner, we quite enjoy the sound of the Doors, so that's why we nabbed that one. Carrying on through the Ds, we get Dream Theater and their magnum opus Octavarium. This is over 75 minutes and it's just an insanely incredible song. It's an incredible album, but the song itself, Octavarium, is too incredibly insane. Definitely top 3 Dream Theater albums. I don't think it's my favourite, but I think 6 Degrees is. But this album is really, really cool. Just a double LP, straight black, nothing fancy, very, very cool. Next up we have one of the Partners LPs. This is Ellie Goulding. And this isn't a studio album, I'm pretty sure. This is a compilation album of, like, you know, a bunch of stuff. I'm not a Goulding fan, so I don't exactly know. Next up is mine. We get Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By. I waited about 8 months for this due to restrictions of the world, and double album. This is another splatter one, I think. Black splatter, red and black. Very, very cool. Blood-like vibe. Next up we've got folk metal, Ensiferum, and their 2007 album Victory Songs. This is definitely my favourite Ensiferum album, and it's the only one that I own, sadly. There is a shop not far from here that has Iron and the first album, I think, so that's really, really cool. Brothers to Place of Glory and Deathbringer from the Sky, they are amazing songs. Raised by the Sword is cool, and Victory Songs as well. Absolutely incredible album. Doesn't get played as much as it should, to be honest. I think it's due for a spin soon. Another one of the wife's, this is Fleetwood Mac's Rumours. We bought this a little while ago and we were playing it yesterday. She really digs this album. It's not my favourite, but you know, I don't complain when it gets put on. So it's a good, fun Saturday night kind of album. You got Gloryhammer next. Their third release, Legends Beyond the Galactic Terror Vortex. Absolute monster of a name. It's a shame what's going on with these guys at the moment, but I mean, I still love them and I'll continue to love them whether or not they get a new singer or stop. Doesn't matter. I've got. This is a double LP, this is red, and I think it's red and green. This album comes with the album version, but it also comes with the symphonic version of the album, which is the same album, just taken out all the heavy metal. So all the left all the orchestral instruments, so that sounds really, really nice. Next 3, these are all the wives. This is Greta Van Fleet and the Anthem of the Peaceful Army. She loves these guys. She's gotten me into them as well. At first, I wasn't a monstrously huge fan of them, but the more she plays them, the more they grow on me. And then only later go on to find out that my sister loves them as well. So, the second one from Greta, From the Fires. This is probably my favourite one out of the 3 that we've got. And then you complete the trio with their latest release. We've got The Battle at Garden's Gate. This album's pretty cool. I love what it's made of. It's like made of this weird matte kind of stuff. I don't know what it is, but that's a cool album too. As a double one, and the artwork is amazing. Now we're going back in time a bit. We're going back to 2004. Green Day, American Idiot. This album you have to own. This is probably the first rock album that I owned on CD, which I still have, even though it might be a bit broken now. But this album is just cool. Played this again the other night, and it just takes you back in time, really. 2 LP, just a black one. It would have been cool if it was like a spin wheel of like red and white, but hey, you can only get what you want, hey? Right, this one is a soundtrack for the Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe Vinyl Edition. So this is a 2 LP for the Awesome Mix Volume 1 and the original score of the film. This is a splatter one, just like a mix of red and yellow, so that's really, really cool. We've played the Awesome Mix 1 quite a few times, so I haven't played the score yet, believe it or not. I love score music. It's always fun to jam, but I think it's for a selected audience, you know. Right, now we go back in time even more. We go back to Mum's stuff. We got Jimi Hendrix's Loose Hens here. Again, I had to just nab all the Hendrix stuff. We got another one. We got Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, and then the last Jimi Hendrix one we just have this one here, which has all the classics on it. So yeah, they're old original pressings, but they're awesome as well. Carrying on through the list, we're going on to the letter I. This is one of Father's, probably the only vinyl that Father let me take because he still loves his. Just a greatest hits compilation of Billy Idol, you know, Rebel Yell, Hot and City, White Wedding, Without a Face, they're all there. Fantastic album. Played that last night while we made dinner. It was very, very cool. Nice little party for the 2 of us. Back on the black metal train now, we got Immortals, the classic At the Heart of Winter, released in 1999? Is it 1999? I don't know. I think it's... forgive me, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Withstand the Fall of Time is a great song. Tragedies That Blow the Horizon, Where Dark and Light Don't Differ. Oh, that's really cool. This one came out in May. This is a re-release. It's blue, and I love it. One of the greatest albums ever. One of the greatest black metal albums ever, anyway. Next up, we have another Immortal. We got Northern Chaos Gods, released in 2018. This one is really, really cool. Again, gatefold, single LP, just 10 tracks of. Well, no, it's not even 10. It's 8 tracks. 8 tracks of just pure black metal fun, to be honest. Honestly, it's the catchiest black metal album you've ever heard. Cool, we're moving on a bit. Now we're getting into my favourite band of all time. We tackle the first album. We've got Iron Maiden. This is actually my mum's again. I took this. I used to play this all the time when I discovered the band. It doesn't have Sanctuary on it. It's original pressing. It's very old. It's very flimsy. But it's the greatest Maiden album of all time. Everyone knows that. I just did a video on ranking the Iron Maiden albums, if you're interested to have a look at where I've put them. We've got the second album. We've got Killers. 1981, released a year later. This is not original. Everything from now on is a re-release. Bought that not too long ago, and it's a fantastic album. One of my favourite Eddies on that one. Obviously, what comes after Killers? We got Number of the Beast, 1982, another year later. This album is cool. I've had this one. This is the first Iron Maiden album that I bought, and got it on CD as a Christmas present years ago. It doesn't have Total Eclipse on it, but I'm fine with that because that song's stupid anyway. Really, really great album. Don't need to talk about that too much. And what comes after Number of the Beast? Obviously, we have Peace of Mind, 1983. The Trooper, Where Eagles Dare, Flight of Icarus, Still Life. You know, absolutely fantastic album. Really, really cool Eddie as well. Really like the Eddie on this one. Keep the train going. What comes after Peace of Mind? Duh. Power Slave, 1974. Probably one of the greater top 3 albums, definitely. Aces High, Minutes to Midnight, Lost for Words, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Power Slave itself, the song. Really, really cool album. I bought this, I think this is the most recent Iron Maiden album that I have, I think, other than birthday presents. Moving on, we get a live album now. We've got the monstrous, heavy, double LP, Live After Death. This album is amazing. Literally, top three live albums of all time, easily. Great artwork. Whatever I just said about that Killers, this is the favourite Eddie. That's the best Eddie they've done, I reckon. Cool, and once you've done with your lives, you get back into time, somewhere in time. This album is obviously really, really different, but it's still incredible album. Really, really glad to have this one. There's some really amazing songs on here. One of my favourite albums for that one. And then we jump a few years, all the way down to 1998, we've got Virtual Eleven. Yeah, I don't have any other Maiden in the middle of that, so in time, no stress. Despite what people say this is Maiden's worst album. I don't think so. I don't own Maiden's worst album. Angel and the Gambler, yeah, it's a bit sucky, and Don't Look to the Eyes of a Stranger and Como Amigos, you know, they're all a bit dumb. But other than that, good album. Give it a go. Skipping an album now, but we come out with Dance of Death from 2003. Really, really cool. Love this Eddie. I'm amazed that it took him 20 years to get Eddie's Grim Reaper in like that, but never mind. Monster Girl, Dance of Death, Gates of Tomorrow, Passchendaele, Journeyman. Oh, literally, team, go try it out. And then after that, we got the last Iron Maiden album. We got Matter of Life and Death. Really, really awesome album. Brilliant Eddie. I love it. Different World, These Cars Don't Run, Pilgrim, Longest Day, For the Greater Good of God. Oh, literally, it's a long, progressive album, but it's still very, very awesome as well. Awesome, that's the end of Maiden. Now we're coming to Marilyn Manson. We got his latest album, We Are Chaos. This is a white one, white release. Awesome album. This is just so cool. Fun fact about this album, if you have it on vinyl and you play the song Broken Needle, the song won't end. He's done it in a way that the needle is broken and skips, so that's really, really clever. Back on black metal now, we get Death Crush, the Mayhem EP. You think this would be red? No, it's not. It's just black. It's literally got 7 songs on it, but it's still a 2-way gatefold, so that's really, really cool. And then after Death Crush, obviously, we have Mayhem's De Mysteriis Dom Satanas from 1994. Absolutely fantastic album. I love getting drunk and listening to this. It just takes me over, and it's just, again, 8 songs. This album is purple. Really, really cool. Just such a monstrously awesome album. So glad that that's on my shelf. Another one of Mum's now. We get the original pressing of Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell from 1977. I'm pretty sure that's how old it is. Is it 77? Yes. This album takes me back to teenager years as well. Really, really awesome. Really cool to have the original as well. Back on the thrash game now, we get Megadeth and their Peace Sells for Who's Buying record from 1986. This is the second album by them, and honestly, just such a cool little album. Wake Up Dead, Conjuring, Peace Sells, Devil's Island, and just really, really good. And then come after Peace Sells, you've got Rust in Peace. There's a lot of peace floating around here, isn't there? Going off this album, you think it would be yellow. No, it's just black, and that's alright. But obviously, Holy Wars, Hangar 18, Tornado of Souls, the song Rust in Peace. Really, really awesome album. Really, really cool. Glad to finally have that on as well. And then we got the rivals. We've got Metallica, Kill 'Em All from 1983. And obviously, we're all aware of what comes next. We've then got Ride the Lightning sitting here, 1984. Fight Fire, Ride the Lightning, For Whom the Bell, very good. Creeping Death, hello. What comes after that, obviously, we have Master of Puppets, 1986. Such a great album, look at them all. Battery, Puppets, Disposable Heroes though. Oh, literally, best track on the album, that, Disposable Heroes. And then we tackle And Justice for All, 1988. This album celebrated its 33rd birthday yesterday on September 7. So really, really cool that it's, you know, still sounding amazing after all this time. And then the last Metallica album we have is the follow-up. And that's the Black Album, released in 1991. This album celebrates 30 years this year in August, and yeah, so that's a cool album. The God That Failed, easily the best song. This next album is not actually mine, it's my darling partner's, but however, I really like it as well. We've got Miley Cyrus and their latest album, Plastic Hearts. It's not a rock album, but it's pretty damn catchy, you know. There are some great songs on here. It's not a rock album, it's just it's a pop rock album, and it's good for a Saturday night. Jumping back into the scene days now, we got MCR's My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade. Love this album cover. This album cover is so much better than the CD. So double album with an awesome little poster gatefold thing in the middle there. Really, really cool. Dead is probably my favourite song on that album, as it has been since 2007. Next up, we have symphonic metal now. We got Nightwish and their 2002 release Century Child. I love this album. Very, very cool. It's a double album. It's black, but it's in a single thing. So yeah, side 4 is just full of edit songs and live songs. So that's awesome to have on vinyl. Really, really cool. Followed up by my favourite symphonic album of all time, Nightwish and their 2011 Imaginarium. Is it? I think it's 2011. Yeah. It should say down here somewhere. 2011. Yeah, cool. So this is 10 years old. Love it. Talking about Story Time, I Want My Tears, Mermaids, Last Ride. Honestly, every song on here is a banger. Best symphonic metal album of all time. Cool. So that's the top shelf done, team. Now we've just got half of the second shelf to do here. Carrying on the symphonic train, we got Endless Forms, Most Beautiful, released in 2015 of Nightwish, really, really cool. Shudder Before, Weak Fancy, Elaine, Yours Is an Empty, The Greatest Show on Earth, literally some amazingly good songs on that album. Comes in second in the ranking, I'm pretty sure. I rank Nightwish as well, if you want to go look at that, up to you, you don't have to, just putting it out there. This album is mine, believe it or not, I bought this willingly, and that is the NWA's Straight Outta Compton. Obviously, a bit like everyone, I guess, we all saw the film and we fell in love with the music, we fell in love with the legacy of what these guys, you know, did for, not just rap, but, you know, for hip-hop in general, and just how they completely changed what people rap about, really, you know. Back in the rock train, we've got Ozzy Osbourne's last album, Ordinary Man, released last year. This is a great album. I really, really love it. This was a Christmas present, one or the other. And yeah, literally, really, really cool. This is a clear, transparent, no, was it grey? Smoky? Something like that. It's not white, and it's not black, and it's not clear either. Somewhere in the middle of all that. After that, we have the partners' Memoirs of a Madman from Ozzy. Ozzy's greatest hits, to be honest. Just everything from Crazy Train all the way up to Let Me Hear You Scream, which is the album before Ordinary Man. Some really, really cool songs on here. There's quite a lot on here that we hadn't heard before, so it was really, really nice to be like, oh yes, okay, I like that. German power metal, we got Powerwolf, the 2018 release, The Sacrament of Sin. Very, very awesome. This album is absolutely fire. It's so cool. Fire and Forgive, Demons Are the Girl's Friends, Killers with Crosses, Incense 9, and When the Wild Wolves Have Gone. That side alone is enough to buy the album, seriously. However, Venom of Venus on side 2 is really cool as well. Alright, now we're going to get into a big chunk that's not actually mine. These are all Mum's, okay? So bear with, here we go. I'm not a Queen fan. I'm not a Queen fan, but again, a bit like David Bowie, I can appreciate what they do. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the most overplayed songs in the world, and it drives me out the wall. We got Queen's debut. Again, these are all original pressings as well, so that's really cool to have them. Queen's first album. My favourite one, you know, this one I actually do enjoy. This is Queen 2. Very, very cool. It's funny how it's like that, and it opens that way. It's very, 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 very cool. We got Sheer Heart Attack. This one's got my dad's favourite song on it, Killer Queen. Very, very cool. Again, all original pressings, team. We've got A Night at the Opera. We'll just put that back. And then after you finish hanging out at the opera, we all then get together and go for a day at the races. Very, very cool. And I believe that's the end of Queen. Yes, and now this one's Mum's. This is Rainbow. This is Rainbow, Down to Earth. Very, very cool album. I played this the other day. Compared to the Rainbow I'm familiar with, it sounded quite different. And the Rainbow I'm familiar with is the debut, Rainbow Rising, one of the greatest albums of all time. Literally 6 songs, but incredibly fun. Tara Woman, Starstruck, Stargazer, A Light in the Black is just wow. I could have brought this for $70 if I wanted it to be purple, or I could have bought the black version for $30. So I was like, I'll just take black, thank you. What's next? We've got Rush. Rush's debut. This is another one of Mum's. Again, original pressing, really, really cool. Then after that we have Rush's Hemispheres. Again, original pressing team, very, very cool. All the way back from, it doesn't tell me, so, okay. But yeah, that's Hemispheres, really, really awesome. And then we've got a bunch of Split Enz albums. These are my partner's mother's albums. We're just hoarding onto them for, until she can find a home for them. We got Tired and Time. I don't know a lot about Split Enz, so I'm not going to linger on these so much and act like I know what they are. I don't know what order they're in, and yeah, so I might actually just leave some of them there. Moving on from the Split Enz, we have a Canadian doom metal band, Smolder, and their awesome album Dream Quest Ends. If you're familiar with Banger TV, you'll be familiar with Sarah, who does the reviews. This is her band. She's the front woman of it, and it's only 6 songs, but honestly, it's actually really, really cool. It's power metal, but it's not as fast, so it's more powery doomy, I think, is a good way to describe that. Next up, we go back to my mum's catalogue now. We've got Thin Lizzy's Thunder and Lightning, original pressing, very, very thin, very, very old, very, very cool though. Thunder and Lightning, what else is on here? Cold Sweat, Play Me Tears Will Go, Bad Habits, Heart Attack. Very, very cool song. And then the Live and Dangerous from Thin Lizzy. Again, these are all original, team. I know I keep saying it, but I'm just implementing that in your brain. Next up, we tackle the Viking metal band Tyr, or as he says it, Turia. Hell, 2019's awesome album, I'm pretty sure. This is a clear, mushroom brown, marbled vinyl. I've got number 171 out of 200 on here. You got Gates of Hell, Ragnar Scavaldi, Sunset Shore, Downhill Drunk, Fire and Flame. Honestly, such really cool songs. Such a cool album. You guys are due for another album soon. Let's get it out, eh? We got Van Halen and the debut album from 1978, I think. This is not a 1978 release though. I got this for a birthday present this year. Because everyone has to own this album. It's just such a cool one. You Really Got Me, Jamie's Crying, Atomic Punk, Eruption. You know, they're all there. This is Van Halen 2. This one is Mum's and probably original as well. I played this when I found out that Eddie had died, so that was my moment of condolences, because I didn't have Van Halen 1 at the time of death. Let's see what's next. We've got Venom. Some people would argue that Bathory were the black metal originators. Some people would argue that Venom are the black metal originators. However, it's awesome to have both. This is just a single... The album is only 2 sides, 1 LP, but this one is a double LP. Side C and D are like demos and outtakes and 7-inch singles versions and whatnot. So it's just black, but it's still really, really cool. Carrying on with the black metal train, we've got, I'll just stand them up. We've got Watain, Sworn to the Dark, released in 2007. Real, real cool. I saw Watain live about 3 years ago, I think. And honestly, I was blown away by it. It was insane. I had to get an album, and I'm so glad that I got this one, because I remember the song Sworn to the Dark being sang live, and it was just insane. It was so hardcore. And then I heard Stellivore, and it was just insane. Storm of the Antichrist and Legions of the Black Light. Honestly, such a good monster killer album. That one is silver as well, by the way. Right, now next up we've got this little beast of an album. Woods of Ypres, Woods 5, Grey Skies and Electric Light. Now I could do a whole video alone on what this album means to me, but I just want you to know that this album has a huge impact on me and is just absolutely amazing. Every song on here is amazing. Lightning and Snow, Travelling Alone, Adore Viva, Silver, Kiss My Ashes, Finality, and oh, it's just really good. If you're depressed, go listen to it. Honestly, it'll help you. Next album is a bit more upbeat. We got Yngwie Malmsteen's 1990 release Eclipse. Very, very cool. This album was a gift from a very, very old friend of mine. First LP I ever owned, and there's some really, really awesome songs on here. Yeah, it's a bit poppy, you could argue, but it's very keyboard-like, but it's still very shreddy. Obviously it's shreddy. It's Yngwie. This one is Youngblood's 21st Century Liability. Very, very cool album. This one is pink, and again, this is a rather random one of mine thrown in. I fell in love with I Think I'm Okay, or whatever it is, and I thought this was a fun album. It's really fun. And then the last one before the box sets is a cute little birthday present. I used to watch this show, Thunderbirds, when I was way, way high, and still love it today. And this is just an album of all the little orchestral bits and pieces that they threw in and out of all the episodes. So that's really cool. That's a double LP, and it's coloured as well. It's coloured both blue and green. Cool. And then we just have the box sets here. We just have Nightwish's Decades, which is just a compilation of their entire catalogue. We're starting from their Lace song. This is before Human Nature, so we've got The Greatest Show on Earth as track 1, and then all the way down the bottom is the Nightwish demo. So that's really, really cool. That's gold as well. Got to have it in gold. And then the last one we have here, we have Metallica's Hardwired Self-Destruct box set. We have the album on it, which is pretty standard, really, really great album. But there's also a third LP in here with, I think, there's like the Lords of Summer on here, and on the other side is something else. And then it also comes with a live CD to do just some other random stuff thrown in there. So, yeah, wow. Well done, team. We got to the end. I understand, yes, I know it's not as extensive as some others, but, there are some awesome gems in there I'm super proud of. And hopefully in time I can do another one of these to show you what's been updated and whatnot. But until then, stay inside, thrash music, and just look after yourselves, eh? I think I'm gonna go listen to Interferum. I think it deserves a spin now. But yeah, all right, team, take care, and I'll see you all again soon.